is a degree unnecessary?
I mean,
Hi, welcome to our first episode of, we're not so sure what do we want to call this podcast, but I was thinking of ice cream because that's why we have ice cream with us here. While we have a chit chat, we thought of, over the ice cream because why not? Ice Cream Podcast is actually where we talk about literally about anything relate to life, career, and what else?
I don't know.
Because I'm the producer, right? Okay, so on the left side of me, I have Faezrah. So, hi, Faezrah.
Hello.
Do you mind to give us some introduction? Tell
I
us
do.
who you
I don't know
are.
what to say.
Basically, tell us who you are and some introduction that we should know about you.
So I've been in the tech industry for more than 10 years now, and I'm currently based in Sabah, and I run a coding school, the first coding school in Sabah called Elevate Academy of Technology and Innovation.
So interestingly, I would say she is a CEO without a degree. Not literally like she doesn't have a degree. It's just that what she is doing now is literally different than what she studied before.
So I studied law in uni, and then after that, I decided that I want to do different things. At that time, I really wanted to travel the world, and I realized that I needed a skill so that when I travel the world, I have something something that I can use and earn money while traveling, something like that lah. Masa saya punya time tu begitulah itu. So then I decided to learn coding. Then I came back, and then just got my first job as a software engineer.
Not
Then the rest is history lah.
not because of parents' pressure, lah.
What do you mean? Which one?
Like
the
to
law
study
part?
law.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Okay. I think I was 17 or 16 at the time, and my dad literally said, if you don't want to study law, just do whatever you want. But I'm not gonna give you any money. Like, whatever. Begitulah.
Typical Asian parents.
Macam bikin takut. So I was 16 kan. Yeah. So.
But what do you think about of those generation yang I've been through that as well, where my dad, they want me to become a doctor, but you just bring me, I don't like health. I mean I take care of my health. It's just that I don't like to study medical.
I mean, definitely kalau sekarang ni, I think it's the situation has changed. I don't think parents nowadays they will force their children to to do something that they don't like. But during that time, macam kita punya time lah, I think at that time diorang macam yang, because they didn't have the chance to do what they wanted to do, and when they are in the position to actually, they can afford to send their kids to do something for the better life. Begitulah kan, because they couldn't do it, so kau mesti mau kasih fulfill dia orang punya ambition, begitulah itu konon. I think.
So do you mind share with us what did you study before? I mean, you studied law, but we have a lot of universities, and how's your journey towards becoming until you here?
Okay, so yeah, I studied law in the UK, and then I mentioned earlier I pursued different thing after my law degree.
Okay, maybe you know what?
Ya, memang saya tertanya-tanya
I was
tadi.
like,
So, is it macam for display
when are we
sejarah
gonna
ini
eat the ice-
ataupun boleh dimakan?
Because I saw the person behind there. It's like, hey, I'm enjoying my ice cream.
Ya.
Terus kita kan
Macam for
tapi
fun,
macam lah kita
tapi
mau buka ini.
sabar ah. Macam mana aku buka ni?
2,000 years later.
Yeah, okay, so I studied law in the UK. I came back, and then I decided I wanted to travel the world. And at the time, I thought I needed to have a skill, macam begitu kan. So I decided to pursue coding. So I went back to the UK for a 3 months coding course, coding boot camp. And yeah, but before that even during my macam when I was in secondary school, I already taught myself a bit of HTML and CSS begitu. But then my 3 months coding boot camp in London, I learned a bit more lah, how to build applications lah, as simple as that, right? And then I came back, and then I applied for a junior programmer job in KL, and then that's how I started my career lah. So I spent about 10 years in KL as a software engineer.
So, like, after coming back, literally, no law related.
Ya, tiada. Dia macam,
I'm like, okay, I paid so much to go to the UK, and then I ended up here doing something that I pay less. Yeah. We know KL pays better than Sabah, and when you say UK, I don't think it's comparable to Sabah or even KL. What makes you want to come back here? I mean, the pay is better, the economics is better. What makes you want to come back here, despite the differences in terms of the economics and the opportunity?
KL is great. Obviously, the pay is better as a software engineer. But I think I reached a point in my life that I really wanted to give back. Kan, jadi macam I think I wanted to give back to the community. So I think that was just the trigger. So regardless of whether the situation in KL is better, macam saya rasa macam that was the right decision untuk balik and then contribute. Yeah.
Okay. What you said just now, macam, something like that. Cause like you traveled all the way to UK and you paid so much to study in the UK, and then kind of wasted it. Travel to the UK again and study what you actually want to study, what actually you want to do as a software engineer, and then you came back just to get some experience in KL, and then finally decided to like come back to.
I mean, jangan labo ko cakap wasted kan.
Kind of wasted it. Still.
Because I think it's normal, but nowadays for you to learn something in uni, but then you do something else, you do what you love.
Yeah, I think it's not uncommon for people to change their career path.
Yeah.
It's just that I still want to know why. And why she came back.
Yeah, dan kenapa juga dia punya ice cream kan licak. Okay.
Sorry. Harap-harap tidak nampak brand.
Tutup sudah.
You told us you opened a company,
school?
like a coding school, Elevate Academy, which is where I'm at now. How did you get the idea to like open a coding school, or how did Elevate came through your mind? Yeah,
so I told you that I wanted to contribute in some ways, kan? And obviously when I have the feeling to do that, it's only natural for me to come back and serve my community, begitulah. And at the same time, masa tu in KL, I was doing some freelancing, and masa tu macam I had quite a bit of freelancing jobs, and I outsourced a bit to my friends in KL, software engineers juga in KL. But then it triggers me macam yang, why don't I just give some of the projects that I have to the talents in Sabah? Then I started to learn more about the tech industry in Sabah at the time. Then I realized, actually, okay, fine. There are a few tech startups here. The tech industry is actually ada, but it's quite small at that time. The community is quite small. But the talents in Sabah, we just don't have enough talents, tech talents. Then I thought, okay, maybe this is a problem that I can solve, because I come from a background where I don't have the traditional tech background. I went somewhere to learn coding, and then I'm here today because of the skills that I have, begitu. So I thought, maybe I can just macam replicate what I have experienced and then bring that back to Sabah and then do something about it.
Do you think the reason why the community is small, the talents are small, probably because we don't have enough demand in terms of
Probably. Okay, one, we definitely do not have enough demand. What's that? Oh, bau macam sedap. Oh, terima kasih. Ada ice
She's-
cream, ada coffee.
she's being served a coffee while I get this. Thank you.
Terima kasih lah. Bagus ini host.
But I don't drink coffee, so no worries.
Bagus ni host. Okay, there's not enough demand, meaning tidak banyak. If you want to compare to KL at that time, to 2015, 2017 begitu, tech startups in KL macam they are growing at scale at the time. Masa tu lah. And then when you look back in Sabah macam susah ni. Susah. Satu dua pun very very susah for you to nampak. So there's itu satu. And then second, you actually have universities, education, you actually have institutions dekat sini yang offer computer science degree, software engineering degree. So where do they go? The graduates, when they graduate, where do they go kan lepas tu? So most of them actually, kalau those yang memang Sabahans, I think in the end they will decide to actually go somewhere else for better opportunities because there's just not enough here. Yang tu satu. Kedua sudahlah kan. So there's not enough demand. The talents that you have actually relocate somewhere else. So in the end, then what do you have? If you remain in Sabah, what do you have? Then you have a brain drain state lah. So that's how I see it lah. So how do you actually solve this? So you have to ensure that there's enough supply, like in terms of talents, one, and then secondly, you also have to have opportunities for the talents. Otherwise, then in the end, they will just migrate, kan? So it's something yang you have to tackle at the same time. Dia tidak boleh yang I solve this one first and then this one will come later. It goes macam hand in hand lah begitu.
Elevate Academy is more like a skill kind of place, like a coding skill school. But how is it like, different than those people yang go to the unis?
Right. So yeah, you go to uni to learn computer science, software engineering in 3 years, right? But tapi jangan backlash saya lah. From my understanding, I think most of them they learn, I think, more than 80% theory, 20% practical.
Yeah.
So they only do the practical bit when they do their internship.
It's almost like that.
Kan? So, but in Elevate, it's 3 months, but you learn mostly practical stuff, then maybe around 20% or 30% the theory bit. Why I say this is because how we teach is we use what we call a project-based approach. So every week is a new concept, and how you tackle the concept is by doing a project. So by the end of the 12th week, you should have a decent portfolio for you to present to the future employers, right? Because you get to code from day one, as opposed to if you go to UD, you probably just maybe learn coding in your 3rd or 4th semester, begitu.
So when you say project, are you talking about like, they get to work with the legit real companies, or?
No, but right. So you know about Facebook, right? It's an app, a web app, right? It started with a web-based application. So what we do in Elevate is actually we try to replicate the projects, the real world projects. So if you were to do another Grab clone, for example, we can teach you how to do it. Okay? So it's a real world project, but you don't, in the 12-week punya period tu, you don't actually work with real companies lah, but you try to clone their successful projects, begitu.
But is there any possibility that you might, connect the students with them?
Sure, yeah, that's what we do as well. Because for the final 2 weeks of your course, you get to do your own project. So you apply whatever you learn the past 10 weeks begitu. And then if you, let's say you have an idea what you want to build, you apply apa yang kau belajar tu in the 2 weeks tu and just try to build it. Then the mentors will be there obviously to help you. And then you try to build it in just 2 weeks for your what we call MVP, minimum viable product. And then at the end of the 12th week, the last day tu, usually we'll held a demo day lah. So that's the chance for you. We'll invite outsiders as well to look at what you've done begitu. That's sort of your graduation day begitu lah.
There's like a pitching punya na lah.
Yes, yeah. So if you're looking for a job, hopefully you'll find someone yang ataupun those people yang are hiring ataupun if you just want to connect with other people in the industry, blah blah blah, things like that, boleh juga. Yeah, that's what we try to do lah.
So Elevate is kind of a place to make you a job ready.
Correct. Yeah.
And then it's not just for someone yang sudah graduate. I mean, even if they graduate as a computer science student, they can still,
Yeah.
join
So
to build the portfolio.
I mean, Elevate is not only for those who want to start a career in software engineering. Look at me. I studied something else, kan? So I went to coding bootcamp and then I learned and then I become a software engineer. So the idea is if you really want to switch, for example, if you are a content producer now and then macam you interested to switch your career or maybe just learn coding for the sake of learning, kan, tidak salah. So you can just join the course. And even if you don't want to become a software engineer, you actually have a skill for you to add on your portfolio lah, on your resume. Yeah.
But I just want to say that I think when she said, like, let's say me, last time I used to want to pursue in computer science, but I think that was 2015, 14 when IT is like slowing down for a while because my sister, she was like not getting a lot of projects and all that. So when I tell my dad, I want to pursue this and this, tidak payah lah, kakak kau sudah tengok belum lagi ada sekarang kerja dia macam ada tidak macam. So I didn't get to do.
Although saya punya bapa pun, I think in 2001, I said something similar and he was like, ramai orang yang belajar IT tidak kerja sekarang, menganggur.
There were times yang IT betul-betul down lah. Yeah, because I mean dia banyak juga ada fields macam business and all that.
Correct, yeah.
Tidak, tapi macam IT itu lah ketara. But now macam when you look at LinkedIn and all the big companies, semua cari IT, semua cari data analyst apa semua. So macam wow. Well, here I am macam kau berdoa sajalah kau laki kau dapat jumpa. Kalau tidak, memang PKL sudah.
Yeah.
To summarize everything, is a degree unnecessary? Because you become a CEO without a degree in programming skill, but you open a coding skill. So,
I mean,
hardest question.
Oh my god, yeah. This is, I mean, I'm thinking of my friends who yang ready to backlash me bilang kalau kau salah jawab. It's not unnecessary, but I believe you have to pursue what you really want to do. That's the most important. Try to macam follow someone else punya suggestion, but you're not happy with it. So I think that's the most important. So I mean, and it's also in this era, like it's also important what industry you want to be in. So for tech, you don't have to have a degree for you to excel in this industry. But obviously, if you want to study medicine, if you want to become a dentist, for example, if you want to become academicians, obviously you need to have all those papers, right? But for the tech industry, I can only say for the tech industry, it's okay if you don't have the papers, as long as you have the skills to match it.
I can say the same towards creative industry as well. Everything that is technical, like
Yeah.
practical punya stuff, memang you will see more
Correct.
towards it.
Because when I'm hiring, right, if like I have two candidates in front of me, one is with the computer science degree, for example, one doesn't have anything, but he's built 2, 3, 4 website or web applications, and this other candidate, even though he graduated with a first class degree, but doesn't have anything else to prove, macam.
It's good to be.
I mean, I'm paying you the same, but I'm gonna invest a bit more time with the other candidate if I were to select him rather than this guy. Okay, this project you have to get it done by blah 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 blah, and then you have less to worry about lah. But this one maybe you have to handhold a little bit for quite some time, and then baru kau boleh let go begitu. So I mean, for a tech startup, for a small company, I think I would appreciate those yang have the skills and can prove they can get the job done. You know what I mean? Daripada orang yang, oh yeah, you are good on paper, but jangan kasih backlash lah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. That's a wrap. That's about it. That's all the time we have. I just want to say thank you for being a part of this first episode, our very own CEO.
Ya, kena paksa.
Before that, we'll be playing some games, but that will be another video. So if you want to watch that video, check out our TikTok here. Okay, here, probably anywhere. So I'll see you guys next time in Ice Cream Podcast. Next time will be a bit different.
Why is it even a question, Mac of English?
Don't chill. I know how you feel.